Hey, everybody, what's going on? Today is June 14th. I was absent yesterday because it was my birthday, and of course, you don't do these kind of things on your birthday. At least I don't. Today, in the background, I'll be followed with my family who's learning to play Scrabble Junior so that they can improve their vocabulary. So you'll be hearing them playing the games right next to me. So, like always, I got 5 minutes to talk, and this is a part of my 5 minutes. So, William, do you have a question for me today? Any questions? Fine. Oh, he's involved, so he says no. So let's talk about the question that I had prepared for today, and that is regarding the Tokyo go-karts. That's right. Many of you have seen and noticed in Japan that Tokyo go-karts or Mario karts are around the Tokyo area. They're not actually just around Tokyo. They're in Osaka and they're in other big cities. It was just recently in the news this past couple days regarding accidents involving taxi drivers. So I actually have some in-depth knowledge on the topic of the Tokyo go-karts, as last summer I spent 3 weeks for one of those companies to help me with my research on inbound tourism. So the information that I learned from working at this company is amazing. The staff was really good, and the events leading up to the accident that happened this week involving a go-kart and a taxi is actually one of the things that many of the company owners and people in that industry who usually literally almost have an accident almost every day, probably twice a day, anytime they give a tour. For those of you who don't know, you're basically on a go-kart and you're doing like a 2-hour drive around the city. Usually you're going to hit Ginza and some of the high traffic areas. You're going to be on a Rainbow Bridge, depending on what company it is. And of course, you're going to pay a really high fee for that. You'll need a driver's license to do it. International driver's license will be fine. So you have to be over the age of 16, I think, to get a AAA driver's license, international license in America. But don't quote me on that because I didn't do my research. I'm just talking. But at the same time is even though these companies tried their best to safeguard the public from the drivers, I've seen incidents where some people have made some really bad choices driving those things and have almost been killed. In the 3 weeks I was doing my research, on the very first day, one person almost got hit by a garbage truck. And just veering from one side of a 3-lane road all the way to the corner. We actually, towards the end of my tour, there was actually a woman that almost succumbed to heat stroke because at the time it's really hot and the go-karts are considered vehicles, so you could drive them at any time. But of course, when it's a downpour rain, they usually stop the tour. In most cases, and of course they may or may not get their refund back for those who do it. But I remember there was this young woman from the United States who almost died of heat stroke and almost crashed her vehicle into the side wall. And if it wasn't for the pit stop that we do mandatory to go to the restroom on this 2-hour tour, I think this person would have died. And I strongly encourage them to get in the van and give up the rest of this tour because I was concerned for her health. She agreed. She got in the vehicle and she was able to get over her real emergency, and she didn't have much more than a little bottled water. So I bought her ice cream and extra water. And that will be my topic about today, about the Tokyo carts. Remember, if you're going to ride them, be smart when you ride. All right. See you guys next time. Happy Father's Day.